here to say that the pelvic flap isn't part of the giddiness package. You can get this along with the Count Basie Orchestra, all about that Basie, the very best jazz vocalist. And we'll tell you more about it. Our volunteers are standing by. Before that,
I don't know if this is working, guys, so I'm gonna check on my phone because I have not done a live in a minute. Let's see. Oh, it says 9 are watching. Hey, Deidre, how are you? Hey, Siobhan. Oh, I see you guys now. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, is it Damaris? I hope I'm saying that right. Damaris. Hey, how are you? Chandra. Hey. All right, ladies, I just wanted to come on and check in with you guys. As you know, hopefully you can hear me fine and see me fine. If not, let me know. Hi, Nikki. Thank you. I just wanted to come in and check in since the procedure on Friday. You guys sent me so many notes and emails and direct messages and Facebook notes. And I don't know if I got back to everybody. Hopefully I did. My seltzer water is making a mess. My straw, sorry. Hopefully I got back to everybody. I wanted to thank you all for your well wishes. I am fine. I slept most of the day after the procedure. I was done about 11. I had to check in at 9:30. I was under anesthesia for about an hour. And awesome. Thanks, Deidre. Hey, Zoe. Hey, Naja. The Current Natural. Good evening. She's saying good evening to all you ladies, too. So I went in 9:30. I had to have someone with me. Blue went with me. Otherwise, you have to stay for like 2 hours if you don't have someone to go home. They say, oh, you can't drive. I'm like, well, it's Manhattan. Who's driving? But apparently you can't even walk out on your own and get into an Uber. So you have to have an escort if you want to be able to leave straight away. So Blue went with me. He was not allowed to go back in before they put me under. So I had to go in to a room by myself. And I use the term loosely because it was really like 3 walls with a curtain across the front. And then there was a bed in there. I did some footage. You guys will see it on Friday, but I didn't cover a lot. I was kind of nervous. So, hey there, Rakosha. How are you? Hey. So, yeah, you go in there. They have you take a urine sample to make sure you're not pregnant. So that's the thing. You can't eat or drink from midnight the night before, which wasn't that big of a deal because I've been doing intermittent fasting. But the no drinking part was hard because what I learned, when I'm thirsty, it makes me hungry. Before I had been drinking this is seltzer. I do one of these and then I do another 33 ounce of regular water. So that was the hard part. And then they want you to give a urine sample, like with what? And so gave the urine sample. She came and gave me my, the surgery, they do it. I'm in a gown or if you guys see me on Instagram, it's not a gown, a robe, like a open robe. And so even when they walk you into the surgical room, you still leave your robe on and you lay down. And then they put your legs up in this, like by the knee down before they put you to sleep. And they put I don't know, it's not a cloth. Like, those blue things, like it's not the ones they put underneath you, like if you have to go to the bathroom. But anyway, like some paper thing they put over you for modesty until the second doctor gets in. The first doctor, the anesthesiologist, was already in there. He was nice too, and he knew my hometown, and we ended up talking about politics. And then there was a woman who came in, Dr. Cacao, who actually did my procedure. Once she said, I'm ready for her, the guy was like, okay, I'm going to give you your anesthesia now. I don't remember what I know. Like, I remember talking about Kamala Harris, who's a representative in California where my mom lives. And then I don't remember too much else. Yes, Zoe, that was nice of him to go with me. Luckily, he was in town. Hi, Simi. Oh, so Friday I had a polyp removed. I think they call it a hysteroscopy, polypectomy. I had my SHG procedure last cycle, at the beginning of the cycle, and they found a polyp, so I had to go in and have it removed. And then the doctor said she did some cleanup in there. It made me nervous because they told me that they would look around while they were in there. And I was like, what are you looking around for? So when I posted this in a video, but my mom was like, make sure you sign a thing that while they're looking around, they don't take anything else but the polyp. And so I had a conversation with the doctor about it before we went in, which was kind of funny. Okay. SHG. SHG is what I had last time, Precosha, or lifelong commitment with the Alexanders, who I'm talking to, if you guys don't know Precosha's name. SHG is what I had last cycle. This one, it was called a hysteroscopic polypectomy. They were removing the polyp. And so they put me to sleep. The SHG, I was wide awake. And the SHG was not as painful as the HSG. So the S is for saline sinohistogram, where they're looking at the lining of the uterus in preparation for IVF. So yeah, and then they found something, and it wasn't, so Butterfly Poet asked me, like, did they let me see it? And because she got to see hers and took a picture of it, I was like, no, I didn't even know that was a thing, and I'm too squeamish. I was trying to figure out how I got out of the surgery room back into the other room and into the other, like, wheelchair bed thingy, because I don't remember at all. And they were like, no, you got up, we helped you. But it, it takes a while for you to come up out of surgery. But you guys were also kind, and I posted on Instagram, and some of you guys sent me DMs, and some of you guys emailed me. So I just wanted to say that I am fine, and thank you. I was slow because I slept most of the day on Friday, and then Saturday I was trying to get caught up on stuff for the channel, and I didn't even have my phone. I got calls this morning because people were like, "Are you okay? I sent you a note, and I didn't hear from you," and I just didn't have my phone. That was what it was. So I'm fine. I appreciate you guys checking on me. Somebody asked me too in the comments, what is next? So I just wanted to let you guys know, like, what's happening next. So now I think I'm on cycle day, that was 6, 7. I'm on cycle day 9. So I will go back on cycle day 21 and have my progesterone tested, the P4, to confirm that I ovulated. If that is good, they will call me back in the afternoon. So the blood tests are always in the morning. They'll call me back in the afternoon if everything is good, and I will start my estrogen patch. And I will take that until the next cycle. So that's my priming, the estrogen priming, prepping for IVF. Friday, they will have the results back because they send out what they took out from me from the procedure. They'll send it out for biopsy. So she said, if nothing is wrong, I won't hear from them. And if they find something, they'll call me by Friday. So hopefully we don't hear from them. Like, no news is good news, right? Now that the surgery went, Zoe, now that the surgery went well, is it full steam ahead? That is the hope. So I have to get cleared for the progesterone to confirm that I ovulated, right? Because they don't want to start me on the estrogen until I've ovulated. And that is to keep my FSH from spiking. We want it to ideally be below 15, but if it's above 20, then I can't move forward with that cycle. We have to wait another one. Does that make sense? Hey, Tanika TTC, how are you? I was telling everybody thank you for all your well wishes for the procedure. I got a lot of notes and DMs and emails and texts, and I didn't get a chance to get to everybody because I was tired, but I do appreciate you all, so thank you. And I saw you getting it in beast mode this morning on your video with the exercise. Looking good, girl, looking good. I loved the food you posted, and I got to figure out, how do you make those zucchini noodles? I need one of those things. Those looked good. All right. So sorry. Zoe, did that make sense about what I said about the procedure? So if my progesterone confirms ovulation on cycle day 21, I'm good to go for IVF. Hopefully that makes sense. And then it continues to be a step, right? So that has to be good. And then they'll start the estrogen patch. And then when the new cycle comes, on cycle day 2, they'll test my FSH. Again, it has to be under 20 to get a green light to move forward with stimulation. If that is clear, then I'll start stimulation. And then I go in every day for monitoring to see how my body is responding to the stimulation. And so it's like all those little baby steps. So I want to say, yes, I'm on the train to IVF. I'm going to claim that now, but I just want to kind of level set the expectation. They're continuously checking that I can move forward. Nikki, are you doing mini stim IVF? I think I'm doing full blown. She's going to do the estrogen priming, and then they ordered 14 days of the medication for me. Is my notebook in here? I may not have. I don't know where my notebook is, or I would grab it. I'm trying to eyeball my living room with the lights out. I believe I'm full steam ahead. I don't think it's a mini. Ember Florence, hi. Oh, thank you. I love making the channel and I'm so glad that you watch it. Thank you. I appreciate the baby dust. I like those pink and blue hearts. Those are cute. Oh, hi. Okay, yeah, Zoe. I haven't done a live chat in a while. I used to do them more frequently and I just got busy. So I will try to do them more frequently. Like maybe, I don't know. I can't commit to once a week, but maybe once a month or maybe once every 2 weeks. You guys let me know because I have fun doing them. And I'm actually doing it by myself. So when I used to do them, Cheyenne used to always be here with me and tech manage, and she would have the earphones and read the questions, but she's at work tonight. So I was like, let me just try it and see if I can get on. And I did it. So yeah, we'll do it more often. I'd love to. You got to get a veggie spiraler. They come in manual or automatic. Mine is manual okay, I got to look for the veggie spiraler. Because I need that in my life. I'm trying to cut down on the carbs. So I'm doing less brown rice and less quinoa, less couscous. And those looked awesome. So I would definitely want to check that out. I'll go on, I probably can go on Target then. I want to say I'll get the manual so I can burn extra calories, but how much work is the manual? Before I commit to that. Yes, Deidre, I'm waiting on test results. What the doctor said, Dr. Cacao, the one who removed it, is if there is nothing, I won't hear from them. So in that case, no news is good news. If there's something, they'll call me by Friday. And so fingers crossed I hear nothing. Remember, I had, you may not, the cervical cancer scare last year, and then they were like, oh, it's pre-cancer. No, it's not. And I had to, which is how I found out I was pregnant. I had to do the, oh my God, the Gardasil, which is the HPV vaccine. They gave me that. And I went in for a pap smear earlier this year, and everything was clear. So I don't know if that could translate into my endometrium lining. Who knows? Hopefully I don't hear anything and we're just a go. And I go back on cycle day 21. Current Natural, your channel has opened my eyes to so much. I never knew this role was out there. Tanika TTC, hey there. By the way, my name is Reese. All right, Reese. Tanika TTC, Reese is saying hello to you. I don't know if you guys are seeing the comments. Siobhan, I'm loving the chat. Feels like the sisterhood with the common goal. Yes, the fam is all together when we do the chat. It's fun. I haven't done this in a minute. I've missed you guys. Like, this is nice to have the interaction in real time. It's not that much work. It's a little messy. Okay, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna actually go to the Bronx and go to Target this weekend and see if I can get the spiraler because I did like those noodles, and I have to imagine the calorie count is low. Ms. Natalie is asking Reese if she's on the journey as well. Deidre said, okay, good to know. Hope you hear nothing too. Yes, girl, let's speak that into existence. That I don't hear a word from those folks. So yeah. So Friday was cycle day 6. So I'm 9 today. Cycle day 21, I go back for the progesterone testing. And then we're go, gadget go, which is kind of scary, but kind of exciting too. So we'll see. I am praying for you. If you win, I win. We are same age, same month. Oh, yes, girl. I know that's right. I want us all to win. So I'm praying for everybody. I want us all to win. I believe it's possible. And I think I posted that video, I think Saturday or Sunday, about meeting Cy Wakeman, and it just kind of reaffirmed like quieting the noise in our minds and not like being worried about stats. For some reason, that message keeps coming to me lately. In the email that I got from like the pregnancy coach about don't worry about the stats, don't worry about the numbers. And I've always believed in the power of positivity. So I think when doctors tell us our age is like a barrier, it's easier for them to say that and expect us to walk away. Like if we block that out, because there's no facts. They hardly ever do any procedures on women over 44 just because they're unwilling to. So they can't say definitively that it won't work. They're just saying historically it trends down, which makes sense because we don't want to be 60 and accidentally getting pregnant. So it makes sense that your body is doing that. It doesn't mean it's impossible though, right? And I think as we nurture ourselves and get informed about what our hormones are doing, what we're doing to our body as far as like toxins, what we put on our skin, what we're eating, as long as we are taking care of ourselves, I think our bodies will bless us with our babies. Let's see. Ooh, Miss Natalie, you had your retrieval on Sunday. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm definitely keeping you in my prayers, girl. How did it go? Was it painful? Did they put you to sleep? Because this place where I'm going, they put you to sleep. And a friend of mine a colleague, she had hers, actually she had her transfer last week, but she said it was interesting being put to sleep. Yeah, congrats, Miss Natalie. Reese is answering Miss Natalie on 10:10, and then I go from there. Okay. So how long have you been trying, Reese? Like you said, very new. This is 1 month of taking the supplements, but you haven't actively TTC. Hopefully you have a short journey. I'm prepping my year in review video because my anniversary is coming up. The channel anniversary is coming up next month. And my very first video, one, I was so nervous. I was laying on the bed and my leg was shaking like a leaf. But the other one, I was like, I was in my 2-week wait when I started the channel. And I was like, I don't know how long this is going to be. I hope it's going to be okay. And it was really to help me with my nerves, like during the 2-week wait and to try to find other people. I had been watching other channels and had learned a lot. So I kind of wanted to share and jump in there. And then it was like therapy too. But I never in a million years imagined a year later that I would still be talking about trying to get pregnant. So it's not a path that I would have chosen, but I have learned so much from all of you ladies, from the entire TTC community. Everybody's been like so generous with information. And so it really does feel like a sisterhood. And I love the camaraderie. So even though it's not what I would have wished for, I'm happy to be where I am. Like, I'm so grateful to have met so many of you and shared stories and been in the trenches, so to speak, both here and on Instagram. If you guys aren't on Instagram, set up a TTC account. There's a great community there and it's in real time. Sometimes like we're sending OPKs and pregnancy tests like straight away. It's just faster than on YouTube because, we have to post unless we're live, which we may go live more often. But there's a strong TTC community there, and there's overlap. There are women who are on YouTube that are also on Instagram, but it's great over there. And you just get like little inspirational bursts. I love looking at my phone and somebody has something to say that either you relate to, or they're having a bad day and you can cheer them up, or you're having a bad day and other people cheer you up. So it's nice. I don't know if I'm going to be doing PGS testing, Tanika. I have thought about it. So, my dermatologist, she's 47. She just had her third kid from eggs that she retrieved when she was 44. She had originally done the PGS and then she had abnormal eggs put back and all 3 of her kids are normal. There's a lot of controversy about the PGS. And I don't know how many eggs I'm going to get. Like if I get 1 or 2, I'm just popping them in, I'm not going to pop in 2 at a time, but I think I'm okay with being pupo, which is pregnant until proven otherwise for the new ladies, and leave it in God's hands. I think I'm okay with that. I watched House Jamisha's video today, and that was hard because I know they did a retrieval and then they put the embryo back in, and you always have to wonder like, oh, was it genetic? And actually, I'm not even going to claim that for them. The doctor gave them a 10% chance, so we don't know the update. But that was what the video alluded to, is that it wasn't going well. The baby was a week behind in growth. So it crossed my mind, and they're in my prayers. But I don't think I am. I'm leaning toward no. So we'll see. We'll see. TBD. I don't know yet. Okay. Grow and babies grow. Yes, for Miss Reese. Yes, they put me under. It was really quick, no pain. Okay, that's good to know, Reese. I'm like, oh no, that's Natalie. Sorry. I'm mixing people up. Okay. It was really quick, no pain. So that's what mine was on Friday too. I didn't really have any pain. I was kind of disoriented when I came up. Like I didn't know how I got out of one bed and into the other, but there was no pain. And the anesthesiologist said it would be similar to that. So, except less time, because were you under like an hour? I was under an hour. And then when you go and do the transfer, that's when they have you do the full bladder, right? I'm just trying to like mentally prepare for all of the, I don't know why that helps me, but it helps me to know what is going to happen. Oh no, Nita. I'm Nina. So Nina asked, am I considering using my daughter's frozen eggs to conceive a baby? No, I'm not. I am going to use my own eggs and give it a go and see what happens. And my daughter also has PCOS. I would not, for a number of reasons, I wouldn't use her eggs, but her fertility is an issue for her. And so I definitely, when you become an egg donor like that, well, anyone, even when we do our own eggs, when you stimulate like that, you are speeding up the rate at which your eggs are going to decline, right? Because we're not meant to have 10 eggs come out at once. The body is designed to have one. And so because she's already going to have issues, like I wouldn't, no, I'm not interested in donor eggs. That's just a personal choice for me. I would like them, the two of them, to be siblings, biological siblings. And then here's Reese. I'm so new with really trying. I've been married for over a year. Oh, congratulations. A year and a half, and just thought I would be pregnant naturally. Yes, I'm 43 and I think I might have issues. I'm willing to go on this journey. Yes, and you might not have issues. Don't claim it yet. You might. I mean, I think it's good to be informed and prepare yourself, but definitely 43, the doctors have not thrown you out yet. 44 seems to be that magic cutoff. I don't know why, because there are plenty of people who have had their own children after the age of 44. It's just not as frequent. I always find it weird too that they give you 6 months after 40, or after now, it's actually after 35. If you're not pregnant in 6 months, you need to see a specialist. Before that, you have a year, mainly because they want to get you in and get you help. But reasonably, like with the odds, you wouldn't expect for a woman over 35 to be pregnant in 6 months. It's sort of like a medical conundrum, right? I don't know, they plant that seed in our head, but if you look at the numbers, that doesn't really make sense. Like if your fertility is declining, why would you be quicker to get pregnant? Why would you in 6 months? Anyway, I'm rambling. But if you have any questions, Reese, let me know. Like I'm here. If you want to email me, it's Tanika@simplytanika.com. So you may not want to post publicly, or you can always DM me over on Instagram, which is simply.tanika. 30 minutes tops. Okay, that is good to know. 30 minutes, I can handle it. Shannon, hey. Empty bladder for retrieval. Okay. Empty bladder for retrieval and then full bladder for transfer. Is that, I remember I just saw a video. Someone was like, they had a full bladder and it was uncomfortable. I think it was one of House Jamisha's old videos. Like she really had to go to the bathroom and was worried about that. Oh, they want to transfer 3. Really? Okay. Are you ready for triplets? I'm just teasing. I don't think it's bad, but yeah. Listen, go with what your doctor feels. If you talk through the risk and the consequences and you're ready to accept those, I'm all for it. Hi, Monique. How are you? Hey, Shell, TTC, Bella. What's up, honey? Damaris, that's true. My coworker had her baby at 41 last year and she's pregnant again. Okay, coworker, tell her to send us some baby dust. Wait. It's funny, if I was able to do IVF here, is until the age of 50 with your own eggs. Oh, in Hawaii you are? That's nice, Deidre. Yeah, my insurance would pay for it up to 50 if I use donor eggs. So from 45 to 50, they would pay for it with donor eggs. And they would pay for the donor. Because I know some people are like, what about the donor? The only thing that would have to be paid would be the copay for the donor. And that would be something that if I were using a donor, I would pay. So it would be just like they were me, which is why, because someone asked me, why are they paying for your meds and not for this? Because they don't differentiate. There's a code that they put in the insurance. So if the meds are being injected into my body or being injected to the donor body, they're the same meds. So that's why my meds are only $250. But the retrieval and the transfer, they're not going to pay for to put into my 47-year-old body, if that makes sense. You wouldn't transfer 2 eggs just in case. Is that for me, Danielle, 2 eggs, or is that for Miss Natalie? I'm okay with transferring 2. I actually secretly, or not so secretly anymore, want twins. I think after a certain age, we have a higher tendency for twins. And then when you add in IVF, that also increases your odds of twins. So I'm all for it. Shell TTC Bella gave birth to twins, though. So I know it's not easy. But, listen, I just want my babies. Siobhan, I have a cousin who just had a baby at 46. That's what I'm talking about. As far as I know, she only used Clomid and conceived. Tanika, I support your decision to use your own eggs. Oh, thank you, Siobhan. It's a personal decision. I don't judge anybody who is using donor eggs. I think we have to do what is right for us. I probably would be more open to it if I didn't have Cheyenne already. I just would not. There's such an age gap between them. I know I'm obviously going to be gone before they are. And so I just would want them to be biologically related. If I didn't have any kids, it will be a different consideration. Like if I didn't already have a living child. Zoe says, sometimes I think the statistics on age can be wrong. I got pregnant twice in 6 months, both ended in miscarriage, and I just turned 40. I think it, I can't make out that last one. Oh, I'm so sorry about your miscarriage, though, Zoe. I had one last year. I mean, listen, I got unexpectedly pregnant at 45, and so it can happen. Statistics are good for only so much, and once you make up your mind in your heart that you want it, it really doesn't matter about the statistics. Like, I think we got to be, it's like the hokey pokey, you know, put your left foot in, put your whole body in. You got to get in there because the statistics could be wrong. Even if they say 1% chance, like, so they're still going to treat me. That means I still have a shot. Like, conversely, it means 99% chance of failure, but why am I going to focus on that? I'm going to focus on the 1% because I want my baby, right? Depends on everybody's body. Absolutely. It depends on your body, your doctors, your health, your current state, mental state. I think it all factors in. I don't think there's any black and white where a statistic can point to say absolutely at this age you can never have a child. It's not that black and white. It just isn't. Yes, you to eggs. I don't know what that means, Danielle. Yes to my eggs. Hey, Danielle, I didn't even see you pop in there. Monique, I'm 44 and we are on our third IUI. I go back to office on the 1st. Should I take a test? Oh, on the 1st of October? What day are we now? I mean, I'm a pee on a stick addict, so don't ask me because my answer is going to be yes. Like, I would say don't take a test before 10 or 11 DPO just because it could be incorrect. It could give you a false negative. But I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm never going to say don't take a test. Ember Florence, my RE is strongly pushing toward IVF. Do you regret your IUI attempts? If you could change things, would you have moved toward IVF sooner? Not sure how long I should try before IVF. Ember, I'm a woman without regret. So I believe everything happens for a reason. And I'm on this path, not leaning on my own understanding. I don't regret my IUIs. I think I learned something from each of them. And I think it would have been a harder leap for me to go into IVF without having had those IUIs under my belt. Because, like, as you saw last week, I was scared as hell to go into IVF. And I didn't want it to come off as ungrateful, but it was just a lot. And so I think for me, if I hadn't exhausted all of those chances, I wouldn't have been sure about IVF. Like, now I'm sure and I'm doing everything I can to have a successful outcome. But I legitimately thought that I would be pregnant. But I've learned about, like, my cycle during that time. I've learned about how I respond to stimulation. I've learned that fresh sperm lasts longer than frozen sperm. So I did an upgrade. I mean, I learned a lot. So I'm okay with that. And I think ultimately now that Blue is my known donor, that is a better situation for me than the anonymous donor. Because that is really what I wanted in my heart. But I also wanted my baby, so I wasn't going to stop. So I think all of those things led me to where I am now for a reason. And I believe that my baby is waiting. And so I don't regret it. IVF is a big step, both emotionally, financially, time-wise, because, like, I'll have to go every morning before work for monitoring. I don't know the clinic that you're thinking about going, but definitely when you meet with the RE or interview with them, ask them about their monitoring. It's a big step. So I think make sure you're ready to make that commitment. I don't think it's something that I would want to go into not sure or kind of half-ass because the stakes are so much higher. The IUI is a little more relaxed as far as time commitment, financial commitment. emotional commitment, really, like they're not removing anything from your body, right? For the men, it's a little more, I don't know. I think the whole fertility journey for men is a little more awkward. As women, we're used to going into like putting our legs up in stirrups and having somebody, you know, in our hoo-ha. Men have to go into a room and ejaculate into a cup. So there's a sexual arousal involved in it for them to participate. Like we don't have to go into the, thank God, and lay on the table, you know, with the RE and have an orgasm. They do. And so I think for them, the IUI, the repetitiveness probably can get old very quickly. Where with the IVF, you know, it's kind of one shot and then you get to fertilize multiple eggs at once. So you have to weigh it all out and figure out what makes sense for you. Yeah, I think you're right to be questioning it, though. I think that's the right thing, is to question it and come up with what works for you. And what works for you today might not be what works for you 6 months from now, if that makes sense. Because today, like I'm ready to go to IVF. 6 months, I would not have been. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been ready to. So hopefully that helps. Okay, let's see. Oh my God. Okay, Shell, come get the twins. Oh my God. The new twins that you're having, you're giving me one? Nina, I was 43. My doctor did not want me to use my own eggs because of age. Yeah, of course. They don't want you to because it impacts their stats for no other reason, honestly. I mean, because it's not more, there's not more medical risk to you to use your own eggs. It's, they have a higher success rate, which they have to report to the SART here in the US, their success rates. And so those success rates determine their future revenue, because other clients in 2 years will go back and look, and it's a 2-year retro report is why I'm saying that. So like if you go now, I think you'll see 2015 final report and 2016 preliminary report for any RE. And so someone will go back and say, oh, you had these failures. And so they will choose a clinic that has higher success rates. So they don't want to take the risk because we are older, our success rates are lower. It doesn't mean that it's impossible, right? And there's no guarantee either way. But I remember when I went to the first RE, in my very first meeting, before she ever looked at any of my stats, she was like, oh, if you use donor eggs, I can have you pregnant tomorrow. In parentheses, with someone else's baby. It's, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I think you have to find a doctor that you can partner with and who is comfortable with you advocating for yourselves, because some doctors feel a little threatened by that. You know what you want. It's your money. It's your body. It's your life. This is the child that you're going to raise. You know what you want. So don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. Danielle, I would love twins. Totally see you, a mama with a baby boy. Oh, I would love a boy. Girl, you are talking my language. I would love 2 little boys running around here. Monique, I only have a 5% chance of pregnancy with IVF. I can't do that. Why, Monique? Because of the percentage chance you can't do it? Because in any given month, a perfectly healthy 25-year-old only has a 20% chance of a pregnancy. Shannon, I'm currently in my 6th IUI cycle, may need to undergo IVF. Infertility can hit you at any age, sadly. Oh, Shannon, I'm sorry. I did 6 IUIs. And then I did 1 home insemination before that. I hear you. I will keep you in my prayers. Hopefully your baby is coming soon. Nikki, how did I choose my clinic for IVF? So my insurance requires that a clinic be what is called a center of excellence. So I had a very short list of people to choose from, a short list of clinics. The first one I went to was RMA New York. And that doctor told me under no circumstances would she do IVF with my own eggs. So I did 4 IUIs with her and then I left. And I went to Columbia, who was also on the list. I met with Dr. McConnell there and she was willing to do it. She did caution me that the chances of success with the IVF were not any greater than with IUI. So we went down the road of 2 IUIs. And then after that second failed IUI, my FSH was high. It was at 20 or 22. It was at 22. And I did not respond to the stimulation. And so then that's when we decided to move forward with the IVF. At that point, she increased my chance. Well, she said I could increase my chances from 1% to 5% if I got my BMI down and did some other things to get myself prepared. So I'm working like crazy to get my BMI down. The only thing with the BMI getting down is we have to be careful. So I've been doing a lot of research on it. As we lose the fat, there's toxins in the fat that are being released into your system, which are no bueno for the eggs. And so I'm doing a lot of detox stuff with the charcoal pills, exercise, and some other things so that the toxins are being flushed out. It's a long, convoluted scientific story, but the antioxidants alone are not enough to support it. And the fat has been holding on to toxins. And so as we lose the fat, that is released into our system and it impacts our reproductive system. The good news is, though, I'm doing the intermittent fasting, which lowers or which creates insulin sensitivity and increases my human growth hormone, which is good because some people go out and pay for human growth hormone. And I'm actually going to ask my RE about it because I know like a couple of women have done Omnitrope, which I'm considering before the IVF, which is the human growth hormone. It's a synthetic, but the intermittent fasting will increase my human growth hormone. So I'm excited about that. I'm currently in my 6th. Okay. How did you choose your clinic? I love your journey and how helpful the videos are. Oh, thanks, Monique. If there are any terms I'm using that don't make sense, please let me know. I know there are a lot. Or if you want to email me, Tanika at simplytanika.com. I'm happy to talk through them. There's a lot of terms. When I first went on the message boards, I didn't know what the hell anybody was talking about. But yeah, you get into it. Hi, Vaughn. Tell Vaughn I said hi, Deidre. Monique, October. Okay. No regrets. Absolutely, Ember. I'll take it on Friday, 6 DPL now. Okay, so you're 6. So you'll be what, 10 on Friday? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What are we, Monday? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, you'll be 9. Okay. I would say keep taking it though. Like use the cheapies, like the little internet cheapies or the Amazon cheapies and see. And check the threshold because the tests have different HCG thresholds. So like if you do, which I learned the hard way, Clear Blue has like a 50, which you're not going to get that early. That's not going to be till after your mixed period or missed period. And I did a whole video on the 6 days early for the early response. It depends on how long your luteal phase is. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But yeah, just be careful with it because the pregnancy test company, they want your money. And it's emotional. So I'm only trying to like keep you from crying in the bathroom if it's negative, and then 2 days later it could be positive because you're really pregnant. Bama, Mrs. Lee, I've been meaning to ask, have any of your subbing orders meds from overseas? Any of the subbies? I don't know if they've ordered them from overseas. It's funny because somebody hit me up on Instagram, a pharmacy company, about buying meds from them. No, but some people have shared, I'm not going to say anybody's name, that they buy meds off of the internet from other people who haven't used them, which that makes me a little sketchy. Like if you don't have a personal relationship with that person, I don't know if I would do that. Because it is hormones and like they're buying things, they're getting them in like Ziploc baggies. You don't have the expiration date. I would just be careful. I know money can be tight. I would just be careful. That's all I'm going to say. I would just be careful. LaShonda, hey fam. Yeah, subbies, Bama, Mrs. Lee. Hopefully I answered that quick. I have not heard of anyone buying them from overseas, but like I said, I've seen people buying them from chat rooms and whatnot. So yeah. Why, have you heard that it's cheaper from buying them overseas? It's interesting because who was that? Chris plus Joe, when they were in Spain, they had a hard time. They left Australia or New Zealand, I can't remember where they are, went to Spain, and the translation and the mixtures were weird. So I would be a little leery about buying them overseas if the language was not in English. I would just be nervous. But if you know someone or you speak that language, I don't know why not. Because some people go down to Mexico to have IVF or to Canada. So they're obviously doing it. Somebody yesterday recommended for me to go to one of the islands and they said it was cheaper. So there are definitely, people all over the world doing IVF. I've not encountered anybody buying meds though from overseas. I was on the HCG diet, how many drops before doing the IUI process, and the doctor wouldn't even start without me being off the drops for 2 months. Oh, wow. Okay, that's good to know. So I'm not taking any drops. I am working on my natural HCG by increasing my insulin sensitivity with the intermittent fasting. So I'm doing an 8-hour eating window and 16 hours of no eating. Are you doing a mini IVF or waiting until you talk to a nephrologist? I believe my IVF is full blown, is what the doctor is recommending, not a mini. And so that is what I'm taking, those meds that I read off before, which if it wasn't dark in here, I would try to find my notebook, but then I'd have to turn all the lights on. I see the nephrologist on October 2nd, and so I'm going to read that list to him and see what he says. I don't know if he knows enough about reproductive endocrinology to counter with the mini, and the RE knows that I'm going to see him. So I think if she thought that was a good idea, she would have recommended it. So we'll see. Oh, Danielle, we're cycle buddies. You're 6 DPO. Well, awesome. Oh, no, but I'm not DPO. I'm only on cycle. Oh, you mean for the other one? I'm not DPO yet. I haven't ovulated. Oh, wow. I didn't know that every time I lower my sugar or carbs, I get sick. So don't know what to do. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know. I guess how much are you lowering them? And I'm not necessarily, well, I'm lowering them because now I'm going into a calorie deficit. But what I'm doing is with the fasting, there's no sugar, no carbs, nothing. So my insulin is at baseline, which then triggers my body to start burning fat because there's nothing else coming in for energy. Hey, Mrs. Living in Hope, how are you? I'm not going to test. I just watched your video today on your HSG. Good way to advocate for yourself. After your doctor encouraged you not to, you got new information. And so I'm curious what your acupuncturist and your naturopath will say. I know there are a couple women here on YouTube who've had success with the teas and the serapeptase and are currently pregnant or have had children. So I'm curious. I'm hopeful for you, though. Like, I think information is not bad, and I don't think the information that you've gotten counts you out, but please know that you're in my prayers. Yes. Danielle, I'm not going to test till 12 DPO at least. Okay. I know you're going to try. It's hard. I said that. I know. And then I posted one and somebody was like, I thought you weren't going to test till 13. And now I was doing a video at 11. So I am never one to judge if you test. I am a peonistic addict, POAS addict. I get it. You got to do what you got to do. Oh, Nikki is saying that meds are cheaper in Israel and Canada. Oh, interesting. Okay. Bama, Mrs. Lee. Yeah, it's very cheap overseas. My doctor mentioned it, but he would not recommend the site. Oh, interesting. So do you have to have a script if you can get it overseas, or they're just giving it to you without a prescription? Oh, he didn't want to be liable. Oh, of course not. That makes sense. CNC Bird, dear husband and I, 42 years old, married 1 year, trying to conceive 2 years, no children between us. Letrozole, big fat negative after 6 months, using timed intercourse. I'm sorry. Next up, IUI. Any tips? You keep me inspired. Bless you, Tanika. Oh, thank you. My only tips for IUI, know your cycle. If you're doing medicated IUI, they're going to take it over. But I always found it helpful to know my cycle, especially when I went to the new RE. I wish I would have known that with the first RE. They should be testing ultrasound and blood tests in the beginning of your cycle. If it's cycle day 2, 3, 4, whenever you go in, you need both of those pieces of information. And when you go in for your mid-follicle scan, you also need your blood work. If your estrogen is not high enough, your follicles likely do not have a mature egg or an egg that is ready to mature. Some people say empty follicles. It's really an immature egg, which, like, when people get retrievals, they take them out and they're not mature. So you don't have that. Some clinics just go by 18 to 22, but it could be that size. And without that estrogen to confirm it, you don't know that it's ready. And so you're basically wasting a cycle. And so I found that out later, which is why I always say my first 4 at the old clinic or a wash, because we don't know. We don't know if they were mature. Yeah. And well, it's a whole other story. And just like get as much rest as possible and stay hydrated, take good care of yourself. I think anybody on the TTC journey, that you have to take good care of yourself. I've been doing the meditation. self-care is just important. Like whatever it is, if it's 10 minutes alone, you guys are all probably too young. There used to be this commercial, Calgon, take me away. If it's 10 minutes in the bathtub with some Calgon, some Epsom salt, whatever it is, take some time out for you. You're asking a lot of your body. You're doing a lot of mental taxation on your mind. You got to figure out an outlet to let it go. They were the strips from Amazon, Monique. The tests were the strips, the stripes? Okay. You have to have a script. Okay. So that's interesting to get them overseas. You have to have a script. So you would have an American doctor writing you a prescription and you would get the meds overseas. Interesting. I mean, mine is not that expensive, but if some of the other ladies are interested in exploring that, that might be a way to go. I guess as long as you could ensure the efficacy and potency were the same that were needed, you should be okay. Yeah, why not? And they arrive in good shape. Because I know like with the HCG shot, it comes in that big ice chest that they send. And it has to get there in 24 hours. So I don't know. And I think Genesis told me that it has like egg in it, or there's something in there that is the reason why it has to be refrigerated. So I think coming overseas, if they could still guarantee that it got there overnight so that it wasn't corrupted in some way, you'd be okay. I mean, anything to save money, I think you always have to weigh it. Is it worth the risk, like for my health and for what I'm putting in there? The meds I'm always sketchy about. Like I want to know that I'm getting the right meds, the right potency, the efficacy is the same, and that it is reputable. That's just me though. You have to have a script. Meds overseas not required by FDA. Oh, not regulated by the Federal Drug Administration. That makes sense. Okay. The supplements aren't regulated either. So I don't think that should be a deal breaker for anyone, right? We have a lot of supplements. I take a lot of supplements. They're not regulated. You have to kind of do your research. So I don't know that that should be a barrier. Anything you get outside of the US is not regulated by the FDA because it's the Federal Drug Administration of the United States. LaShonda, I have to try the fasting too. And the no dairy worked wonders for me. Oh, good. I used to be diabetic. Really? And once I did the apple cider vinegar and cut out all white foods, my hormones became balanced. That's awesome. Oh, AF due in 2 days or BFP due in 2 days. I will keep my fingers crossed. What's white foods? Bread and stuff. Yeah, breads, pastas, those are all white foods. Foods with no color in them. Rice, white rice instead of brown. Although what I'm doing now, the carbs, I still have to keep the carbs lower. I have to stick to complex carbs. Let me say that. I'm bad with diets. I love breads, dairy, and sugar. Oh, me too, Danielle. Oh, sugar, that's my jam. Breads. There's a girl at work today passing out donut holes, like from a fancy bakery. And I was just like, oh my God, put them away. I'm human. So I just went and got more water and kept it moving. What are my thoughts on maca root? I love maca root. I put it in my smoothie. For me, my experience with it, so I use it's the light colored one. Someone just emailed me yesterday and said that they had done some research that the dark was better for fertility. It's a Peruvian root. They come in light and dark. I use the light one. My experience was like increased energy and increased sex drive. So just be warned and warn your partner. It's good for hormonal balances, which is why I was taking it. And someone else sent me a note asking if maca root and Vitex could be taken at the same time. Yes. Some people cycle it. So they take one in the beginning of their cycle and the other in the second half of their cycle. But I couldn't find any information that they contradicted each other. And so they do different things. So that's just my experience. I was taking the liquid Vitex, and then I have the powder maca root that I put in my fertility smoothie. It is a fertility superfood. Yes, all breads, foods cooked in flour, pastas, all the good stuff. Yes, yes. So LaShonda, I don't know if you follow Tanika TTC on Instagram or here on YouTube. She's got these noodles that she's making out of, I think it's zucchini, and I have to get me one of those. It looked so good. And then she had this sauce and this meat on top. I was like, okay. I think with the dieting, the thing that I'm learning is to make it beautiful and season it well and make it nutrient dense. Like the flavoring has to be on point. The first week of my diet, everything was brown. I had brown rice, like boiled chicken. It was boring. So I had to spice it up. So now I'm like adding like African spices, heat. I did last week was like a Mexican theme. So I had like lots of salsa that I made at home with jalapeno, fresh cilantro. I think making it really flavorful helps. Like you don't want to eat bland food because then there's going to be donuts walking by in the office and that's what you're going to go for. Are you doing the sea salt flush with the apple cider? I haven't been doing sea salt. I have been doing apple cider vinegar with lemon. I was doing the honey with it, but now I'm fasting and the honey will spike the insulin. But it's interesting you said that because I just saw Dr. Berg was talking about the salt. So I'm going to look into that. He recommended the Himalayan salt. And then there was someone else who said do salt and, oh my God, what is that? Cream of tartar to get the sodium in there. So I have to do a little bit of research on that. Have you been using that? Oh, CC Bird, self-care is a weakness of mine. Started acupuncture for fertility on my 3rd session during ovulation week. Hypnosis next week for teeth grinding. Oh, interesting. It's hard. I think especially as women, self-care is hard. We feel like we're being selfish by taking care of ourselves. But I have started to think about it as, you know, when you get on the plane and they tell you if the air mask comes on, you have to put on your own air mask first before anyone else, even small children. You got to save yourself first. If you're not alive, if you're not well, nothing else matters. So set some time out for yourself. You're worth it. And that's why I say, even if it's 10 minutes a day, start with 10 minutes and build it up. It's okay. It's okay to be good to yourself. I tried the sea salt flush, epic fail. Oh no, LaShonda, it was a fail? What happened? Oh, please don't. I'm worried about diarrhea. Can I just be honest? Oh, thank you, Christina. Prayers to you too. Oh yeah. Oh, Bama, you had that same experience too? Oh my God. Okay. I'm using mock root and chaseberry in tincture form. Okay, so chaseberry is also called Vitex. Are you using both of them in one tincture? So I use my chaseberry or Vitex in a tincture, and then I use the maca root in a powder that I put in my smoothie. I thank you for sharing your journey. Oh, Katrina, thank you for listening. If you weren't watching, I would just be here talking to myself. LaShonda has the noodle maker thingy. I use zucchini. It's the bomb. Okay, now I saw her pictures. I was like, what is that? I got to get one of them. So I'm going to march to the Bronx on Saturday to Target and get one. Nikki says, Tanika, did you get your teas yet? I'm having my linden tea, leaf tea tonight. We'll be sleeping in a half hour. No, I didn't get them. I saw your note. I'm going to get the chamomile. Although I have this other tea. Hold on one second. I'm going to grab it. I thought about it because the other acupuncturist gave me this. I don't know how you say this. Gone my doubt. Can you guys see it, or is it going to be backwards? It's backwards. It says licorice, wheat, and jujube formula, and it's meant to be relaxing. It's herbal granules, and it comes in it's like this. Can you guys see that? And you put it in hot water, and it is very relaxing. I'm going to do that. And some nights I do the magnesium lately, which also is helping me sleep better, and it makes me feel better. I've been working out more, and by working out, I mean walking in the park. So my muscles are sore because there's like stairs and stuff, and that helps it, kind of relax my muscles. So, okay, but I'm going to get the chamomile. To answer your question, cream of tartar for the potassium and electrolytes needed if you're lowering carbs. Okay, so that I just saw that video today, Bama, Mrs. Lee, on the cream of tartar and putting it in the water. So I was like, let me do some research on that. I am using electrolytes, Dr. Price's electrolytes, which only have 5 calories, no sugar. Yeah. So you got to drink the salt flush while sitting on the toilet. Okay. It's going right through me then. I see. I'm going to have to research the salt flush. I'm scared. And also the salt, I have to be careful because I have the one kidney that can cause inflammation. So I need to research it. Or take the toilet with you. No, LaShonda, nobody's taking the toilet with them. Is it that bad? I don't know. I don't know why I would do that. That flesh is not for the faint. Goodness, I know that's right. Okay. Sea and Seabird. Yes, I mixed the 2 tinctures together in an amber bottle, 2 droppers full, chased with hot water in the morning and evening after work. Ashwagandha before bed. Oh, I love some ashwagandha. I actually was able to stop taking, I'm not recommending this, this worked for me, Zoloft, and only take ashwagandha for my anxiety. So that was good. And I love little amber bottles. I have collected them from my acupuncturist from the tinctures they give me. And now I just make my own little things. And I also use it to carry around my apple cider vinegar so that I can take it in my purse without taking the big Bragg's bottle. So yes, I'm a big fan of that. All right, ladies, it's 41 minutes. We've been chitter chattering. I think that is it. I just wanted to let you guys know that I was well and catch up. I loved this live chat. Let's do this more often. I can't promise once a week, but maybe every other week. We'll figure it out. Leave it in the comments below and let me know what is a good frequency and what is a good time, because I know now we've missed the people in New Zealand and it's late overseas, and I didn't plan this. I just was like, thought of it and popped on here, and I was able to get it going. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a good night. You are all in my prayers. I thank you for your well wishes. And as always, let's get those babies, ladies. Mwah. Bye.